Have you been in a situation whereby anytime money gets into your hands, it evaporates? You spend it, and the next day you can't account for it. There are times you have a very good plan for your money, and when that time comes to use that money to execute your plan, a lot of peripheral issues pops up left, right, center, and then you end up using the money unplanned. Then you become that entrepreneur that sits with a brilliant business idea and have no capital to execute it. Sometimes you would even question yourself, why is this happening to me? Why is it that money cannot stay in my hands? This is what sometimes the spiritualists describe as your palm is leaking. That is the devilish nature of money in control. However, I'm here to tell you how to beat that devilish nature of money. I have been through it before, and there are times I make plans for my money, and before I even get the money, I had situations pops up, and then I have to borrow in order to settle. And when I get the money, then it goes out. Poop. Just like thin air, it vanishes. And there are even times when you have the money, that's when problems start coming. Problems here, problems there. And then you end up spending the money in order to solve those problems. And at the end of the day, you are not able to use money in a very much fruitful manner. In the previous video, I talked about both the devilish and the angelic nature of money. Before you can deal with the angelic nature of money, you should be able to deal with the devilish nature of money. And also remember, we talked about the fact that before you deal with the angelic nature of money, you must also understand what money is. I pointed out that one basic principle of money, the good part of money, is that it circulates and it can easily multiply. This information is to tell you that it is very easy to create wealth. However, its circulation nature makes it impossible for you to also use it. Because when you have it, it engulfs your mind, and then like thin air, it vanishes. However, if we capitalize on these characteristics, we can turn characteristics of money, we can turn the devilish nature of money into the angelic nature of money. Now, what you have to do is that, having been equipped with the knowledge that money circulates, is that you do not allow money to stay with you. No matter who you are, if you don't have mastery over handling of money and you let it stay within you to the extent that you can easily access it, it's gonna engulf you. So one, do not allow money to stay with you. Make sure that you have placed at least 2 barriers between you and your money, because when you have to go through barriers in order to have access to your own money, you will always rethink the chances of you using it. You will rethink that, no, I just don't have to take it. It's stressful. And then you may ask the question, how do you put these barriers? What are these barriers? One of these barriers can be putting your money into a fund. So when you want to have it, you must contact somebody, and then you have 1 or 2 or 3 days to get a response as to when you will get the money. And then within this period, you actually think over what you actually need the money for. The other way is that prioritize investing that money the first thing you do before any other thing. So if you had planned with your salary that every month you invest 10% in something, then that is what you should do first before you start spending that money. So before the rest vanishes, you had already put some percentage into something. And remember, these things that I'm talking about, they are all investment. And also remember that money easily multiplies. Money easily multiplies. So once you put money into these areas, then they keep increasing in value and you don't have to do anything. And when you see that money is increasing, you are rather motivated to even put more than to spend. So it's very critical to identify your weakness with money. Like I said earlier, for me, it was that when I have it, I feel pompous. I'm the big man. And then I spend it anyhow without thinking. And then I realized that this was leading me to nothing. So I decided that after having understood the principles of money, not to allow money near me. So every month when I receive my salary, and I make sure that the necessary bills are paid, then the rest of the money will not sit in my bank account because it is easily accessible to me. I immediately pick it out, put it into investments for it to do what it does best. That's to increase in value. So it is important that you identify what your weakness is. And I believe that majority of young entrepreneurs have similar problems. They let the money control them. They let the money stay with them, and once they are able to have access to it, they easily spend it. Now you ask me the question, okay, if problems will come, if the need for money will come, why wouldn't I have some money with me so that I can use it to solve problems that pops out? If this is the plan, I can tell you that there is no way you would ever put money into use. I do it anyway, and I wait for the problems to come. That even makes you more innovative. When the problems come and you don't really actually have money with you, then perhaps you think of alternatives. You think of better ways of solving problems. Sometimes it is not just about money being the solution to every problem. I am making this point to help you as an entrepreneur. When you really mean business and you want to succeed, you want to create wealth, you need to understand that if you allow money to stay with you, it will take control over you. Create barrier between you and your own money. Make sure that this money goes out and do what it does best. And what money does best, that's the angelic nature of money. It can easily multiply. So if we understand this, we will not be allowing money to stay with us. I have seen people, telling me they need money to start something, and then finally when they get the money, if the whole of it doesn't go into something else, maybe just about 10% of that money will go to in what was originally planned for that money. This is because it's the devilish nature of money. It will engulf you. You must gain mastery over handling it. So for me, what has worked, like I said, is not to have access to it. In the previous video, I recommended a book to young entrepreneurs, which is The Richest Man in Babylon. If you read that book, there is a page, I don't remember now which page, but if you read it, there is a portion that talks about investment. What percentage of your money should go to investment? And the point that if you don't put some percentage of your earnings, your income, into something else that will bring more money, then you will still be wallowing within the system. There wouldn't be any possibility to break loose of the system that we are in now. You will not have any possibility to create wealth. There's also this category of people who will tell you, I don't work, I don't have income, I don't have any earnings. How do I then put something into investment? And there are this group that also thinks that investment must be a huge sum of money. That is still the devilish nature of money, because it will always give you reasons not to take initiative. It will engulf you when you have it, make you to spend it anyhow, and then you find reasons to tell yourself why you would not be able to succeed. You go in circles. There was a point I told myself that, come on, I'm not working. How do I save? How do I make some other investment? And then I decided to kind of find out how much money I use within a day. Even though I claim I don't have money, I realized that I have money to buy food. I top up my mobile phone with credit and I make calls. I buy beer. I realized that, shockingly, within a day, I use close to $100, even though I do not have money. Even though I claim I'm not working, I have nothing to save. So when I find out that even though I don't work, even though I have no permanent source of income, I have no earning, if I do something with my lifestyle, I will realize that there will be something to save, to invest. So through this, I was able perhaps cut the calls, be wary of how much I spend on food, how much I use on drinks. This is how I was able to register my very, very first company, because I didn't have money to register it. You sitting down there, putting all the blame on you not having capital, you not having money to invest. You need to reassess yourself, your finances, your lifestyle, and find out where you can make savings. Then do something about that so that you can at least start something. This is very important. You don't need to be sitting down there and waiting for somebody to give you the money. You ought to be disciplining yourself. Like I said, if you want to create wealth, you must be hungry and angry at the same time, and then you must have the energy of a bull. This is what can help you do something about the situation. So the proven way for me to have dealt with the devilish nature of money, I did not allow it to take control of me. It doesn't even come nearer to me, let alone taking control, because I got to understand that when you give it chance, it will take control of you. It will give you all the reasons to spend it. It will circulate out of you and becomes the owner of someone else. So in investment, we say that people who invest have full control over money, knows where to put money for it to work as it should work. Those people have diamond hands. However, this is not a very easy task. Think about it. You have lived your whole life and money has always controlled you. You cannot just wake up one day and have mastery and control over money. Nope, it doesn't work that way. It has to be consistent practice. Consistent practice. Set up small goals. Okay? In my case, like I just said, it was just to register a business, which I've always wanted to do many years. And then times I have money that can even register 5 to 10 businesses, yet I don't register a business. And I spend that money. And the next day, I'm complaining that, I need money to register a business. Just setting up small goals, saving for small things. With time, it will become a habit and you will gain control over money. And when you then have control over money, that is one of the important bricks towards wealth creation. You see that most of the wealthy guys we see around in our society, if you meet them somewhere and set them, try to see how much money that is in their possession, you will find nothing. Most of them have financial accountants that breaks them, that reminds them, that gives them reality check on what they are using their money for.